In Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, a girl dances herself to death so the earth can live again. In Patrick Horvath's sequel to Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, that same sacrifice might be coming to Woodbrook, and Sam could be the one wearing the crown. With the upcoming sequel to Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees titled Rite of Spring, it looks like Horvath isn't just continuing Sam's twisted tale. He's tapping into something older, darker, and way more ritualistic. That subtitle, it's no coincidence. It's a direct reference to Igor Stravinsky's legendary ballet Rite of Spring, a piece so intense and chaotic that it caused an actual riot during its premiere. And that connection changes everything, because in Stravinsky's world, spring doesn't arrive with gentle rain and blooming flowers. It bursts in through sacrifice, blood, and primal chaos. If that's the energy Horvath is channeling for this new chapter, then Sam's quiet, cozy facade might be about to explode. So today we're diving headfirst into the ballet The Rite of Spring. What's it about, why it matters, and how its themes of violence, ritual, and transformation might signal a dramatic shift in Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Because in this version of Spring, something has to die to bring about a better world. Who might that be? Stay tuned to find out. Before we jump into predictions for the new Beneath the Trees series, we've got to lay some groundwork for the ballet Rite of Spring. And thank you to all you guys in the comments for the inspiration for this video. I mean, you guys are throwing out all kinds of knowledge here, and it's greatly appreciated. So here's a quick breakdown of the ballet. Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring is one of the wildest, most groundbreaking ballets ever created. The music was aggressive, the dancing was raw and primal, and the story is absolutely brutal. It takes place in an ancient pagan Russia, where a tribe is performing a ritual to ensure the return of spring. But this isn't a gentle pastel-colored rebirth. This version of spring demands bloodshed. The ballet is split into two major parts, with part one called The Adoration of the Earth, and part two called The Sacrifice. The first part starts with this eerie bassoon solo, like the voice of the world just waking up from a long, frozen slumber. Then it builds into a series of intense percussive movements. You've got sections like the spring rounds and the ritual of the rival tribes, where groups of dancers stomp and clash in chaotic animalistic patterns. It feels more like a frenzied spiritual event than a traditional ballet. The energy is electric, like the earth itself is being summoned back to life through sheer force of will. At the center of it is the sage, a holy elder who blesses the earth with a sacred kiss, symbolizing the tribe's hope for a fertile, thriving season. And then things get much darker. In part two, The Sacrifice, the tone shifts entirely. The energy turns solemn, almost ghostly, as night falls and the tribe gathers again for an even more intense ritual. In mystic circles of the young girls, a group of maidens dance in slow, hypnotic patterns. Eventually one is chosen, at random or maybe by fate, to become the chosen one. From there, the ballet enters its final devastating stretch. She's lifted up and glorified, and then left to dance herself to death in the haunting finale, Sacrificial Dance. Alone, she spins, jumps, and collapses over and over again while the tribe watches. It's brutal, emotional, and primal, and her death is the price for renewal. What makes The Rite of Spring so iconic is that it completely shattered the norms of ballet and classical music. Instead of elegance and refinement, it gave the audience chaos and rhythm and something ancient and raw. The music is full of strange harmonies and unpredictable beats, and the choreography, especially in the original production, was all sharp angles and stomping, no graceful movement or style at all. The whole thing feels like a living ritual, pulled from a time before civilization. So here's the big idea. The upcoming sequel series to Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, with the subtitle Rite of Spring, might be pulling inspiration directly from Stravinsky's ballet. And if that's true, it tells us a lot about where Patrick Horvath could be taking Sam's story next. In the ballet, spring isn't gentle or healing. It's violent, chaotic, and demands a blood sacrifice. It's not about flowers blooming. It's about who has to die to make that bloom possible. And considering the world Horvath has built already, a cozy anthropomorphic town where a polite bear is secretly a serial killer, this theme fits almost too well. So let's start with the most obvious connection, the concept of a ritual sacrifice. In the ballet, a girl is chosen to dance herself to death so the land can be renewed. In Sam's case, this could play out in several ways. She could literally become the sacrifice, either caught and punished, or forced to give up the life she's built to maintain her secrecy. Or maybe she upends that trope and chooses someone else to take the fall, staging her own twisted version of the ritual. After the events of Preludium, another ballet reference as well, we know that Sam views her murderous tendencies as a ritualistic and religious experience. Either way, the idea that something or someone must die to maintain order feels like it's at the very heart of Sam's suburban nightmare. And then there's the symbolism of spring itself. In Beneath the Trees, winter has acted like a shield, a season of silence, a season of hiding and hibernation. But spring means things thaw out. Secrets get uncovered and evidence resurfaces. Sam has always controlled her environment through strict routines and calculated kills. But now with spring approaching and this new series, that control might be slipping. If Patrick Horvath is following the ballet's structure, this new season could be when her carefully hidden world starts cracking open, and everything she's buried begins to rise to the surface, as Daniel Brewer's sister begins to uncover the secrets Sam has worked so hard to keep hidden. And then there's the idea of performance. The ballet ends with a frantic solo, the chosen one dancing herself to death while the tribe watches. That imagery fits so well with Sam's whole persona and the preview pages we've been shown so far. She's always performing, smiling for her neighbors, playing the friendly shopkeeper, keeping up her appearances. But what happens when that performance becomes unbearable? What happens when everyone is watching and she has to decide whether to keep dancing or stop pretending altogether? And I think this will be the focus of the conflict between Daniel's sister and Samantha herself. And if Horvath leans into the ballet's visual and emotional chaos, we might see a more surreal, feverish side of Beneath the Trees. Maybe a town festival, a spring parade, or some kind of public ceremony where all hell breaks loose. A place where masks slip and rituals go off the rails. One way or another, the theme of a blood-soaked spring, a forced renewal, and the threat of collapse feels like a perfect storm for Sam. And if the Rite of Spring is any clue, then the next chapter in her story won't be just another kill. It might be the moment when the whole world turns against her, or the moment she takes it all down with her. Now that we've taken a look at the ritualistic themes of the Rite of Spring and how they might influence the new Beneath the Trees series, let's take a closer look at the characters themselves. How do the figures in the ballet mirror or clash with the ones in Woodbrook? From Sam's dark transformation to Daniel Brewer's sister's quest for justice, there are some surprising parallels that could point us toward the direction of the new series. And I think there are three that we should look at: the Chosen One, the Sage, and the Tribes. Sam and the Chosen One. The Chosen One in the Rite of Spring is selected for sacrifice, embodying a brutal, almost ritualistic transformation. In Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Sam may not be the chosen one, but she is certainly playing the role of the one who chooses. Her ability to murder in cold blood while maintaining the facade of an innocent, friendly figure mirrors the paradox of the chosen one, someone who must die to bring about a new beginning. Sam's murders, especially Daniel's, could signify her own kind of spring, an awakening to a deeper darkness within her, just like we saw in Preludium. However, In a twist on the Rite of Spring narrative, Sam could potentially become the object of someone else's sacrifice, especially as the story intensifies. As Daniel's sister searches for him and seeks revenge, she could become an avenging force, aiming to unearth the person who disrupted her world, Sam herself. This would reverse the usual role of the Chosen One and suggest that Sam's actions are not just part of a ritual to bring about a new life to her dark desires, but a part of a larger cycle of destruction and retribution in the town of Woodbrook. Daniel's sister and the sage. In the Rite of Spring, the sage plays an elder role, one who knows the tradition and the cost of renewal. In Beneath the Trees, Daniel's sister could take on a similar role, but with a darker twist. Instead of someone who is part of the ritualistic system, she is actively trying to break it. Her search for Daniel's body and killer could force her into direct confrontation with Sam, possibly unraveling the very secrets that Sam has worked so hard to protect. Her determination to find justice for Daniel could make her a more proactive character in uncovering the truth in Woodbrook and of Sam's crimes in the city, paralleling the sage in her pursuit of the town's hidden, brutal reality. She might discover that her brother's death is part of a larger, cyclical ritual of violence with Sam, where one victim always follows another. The deeper she digs, the more she could uncover, transforming her from a grieving sister into someone who could potentially challenge or dismantle Sam's facade in Woodbrook. The tribes in the town of Woodbrook. In the ballet, the tribe is bound by tradition and ritual. In Woodbrook, the townspeople's connection to their tradition is essential in their everyday life, and could be seen as a ritual of sorts, even if they don't fully acknowledge it. The arrival of Daniel's sister as a force seeking retribution could fracture the unity of the town, much like the chaos that emerges during the ritual of the rival tribes in the ballet. Her search for answers might not only expose Sam as the killer, but also reveal more dark happenings in the town of Woodbrook. The tribe's collective power in the ballet is built on sacrificing one individual for the greater good, and this could mirror how the town of Woodbrook operates, sacrificing one of its own for the sake of maintaining its illusion of peace and safety, namely Sam herself. But as Daniel's sister digs deeper, she could disrupt that cycle, much like the rival tribes disrupt the sense of unity in the ballet, leading to a larger confrontation between those who want to preserve the status quo and those who want to break free of it. So whether Sam becomes the next sacrifice or orchestrates her own twisted ritual like in the conclusion of the first series, one thing is clear. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring is shaping up to be a whole new level of dark and disturbing. And with the themes of transformation, sacrifice, and renewal from the Rite of Spring looming over her, Sam's world is about to get a whole lot more chaotic. But what do you guys think? Is this the beginning of Sam's downfall? Or will she somehow manipulate the situation and emerge even more dangerous than before? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Comic Drops for more deep dives like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.